Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Magnum Cup series. We are here from Daytona, and I have a race set up. Now, you might be wondering, what is this race? Well, I decided to bring the Magnum Cup series back. Now, if you don't remember, like a year ago, I attempted to make a Magnum Cup series with a bunch of my friends from that time, and it didn't really go that well. It didn't really work out. There was one race, and then the game that I was using for it just disappeared, so I wasn't able to film anything beyond the first race. Well, this is less of me getting a community together and more just me doing whatever I want with this iteration of it. But if you wanted to pick a driver, I have put every full-time Cup driver, at least I think I remember to put every single full-time NASCAR Cup Series driver in this tournament. So if you have a favorite driver, you can pick that driver and they will be here. But this is Heat 1. So before we start this race, let me go ahead and explain how everything works. So we have 36 drivers in the tournament. There will be 9 drivers in each heat. The top 3 from each heat race will qualify for the main event. The main event is going to be 50 laps, and the winner of that gets, I don't know, a handshake. I would try my best to have cautions in this. I haven't tested this out at all. I haven't tested this idea out of actually trying to hold a competent race with cautions and field resets and everything like that with AI. This is a very new thing for me. I haven't done any testing prior to filming this, so we will see how this goes. But I think you have an idea, at least, hopefully, of what I am doing. So we are at Daytona for season 1. If this does well, then I will do maybe other tracks. Maybe I will do O'Reilly or trucks in the future. Let me know, because if this does well, then I will do it again. But looking at your starting grid for tonight's 15-lap race, we have Brad Keselowski on the pole, and he will have the Todd father, Todd Gilliland, in second, Ricky Stenhouse in third, Connor Zilisch in fourth, Ross Chastain in fifth, AJ Allmendinger in sixth, Daniel Suarez in seventh, Zane Smith in eighth, and William Byron will round out the field in ninth. Now, taking a look at this field, there are some interesting things to note here. We have a couple of front row motorsports cars. We have a couple of trackhouse cars. There is not a single Toyota in this field. Now, how I determine the starting order for these races is I just put all 36 drivers on a wheel. In fact, I'm going to pull it up right now. I used this wheel to determine the field, and this is what it came up with. So it's going to be pretty random, but I also want it to be so every driver can win, and any driver can win. So this is going to be pretty much random. Now, I don't really know if I'm going to have any set rules for a caution. I'm going to more or less just kind of call them whenever there is enough cars taken out. Uh, if I the one rule that I will make is if there is an AI car that is parked in the track, then that is an automatic caution, and I will try and fix like the leaderboard. It's a bit harder to do with AI than with human players. Uh, but what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to respawn the AI, um, like right before the leader crosses the line a second time. At least that's what I'm going to go for, and then I will reorder the field in the AI settings based off of the leaderboard, and then whoever is not on the leaderboard is just going to go in the back because they're either wrecked or Cody Ware levels of slow. So I think I have yapped enough. Let's get the first heat for the Magnum Cup Series underway. Now, I had done a little bit of messing around with the draft and whatnot. I haven't messed with it too much, but I also wanted to have some interesting racing, so I did up it a little bit. If it causes too much crashing, I will turn it down. But the green flag is in the air. Why are we lagging so hard off the start? This is freaking 9 drivers. This is not a full field. Why are we lagging? Holy crap. Anyway, okay, things are running a bit smoother now. Brad Keselowski to the lead, and there's already a big crash. AJ Allmendinger and Daniel Suarez. And I guess I'll use KBCS rules. That's 2 cars. So I guess that'll be a caution. Let me start recording so that I can go back and watch some things later. But Stenhouse looks to me like he will be the leader when they cross the line. This is a terrible start, by the way. We wrecked in one corner. What is this, the KBCS? And Stenhouse will lead at the line, and I do believe that is everybody. Yeah, there's 2 cars wrecked, and there was there was 2 cars wrecked, and I had 7 cars cross the line. So it was Stenhouse, Keselowski second. I know that you 2 are at the back, so I'll put the 16 in ninth. I will put the 7 in 8th. What was the rest of the leaderboard? We got Connor Zilich needs to be in 3rd, and I see Gillen in 4th, so he's pretty much just swapped with Connor Zilich. It is Chastain in 5th and Zane Smith in 6th. Alrighty, Daniel put the 7 over there. No, it actually was. I'm dumb. It's William Byron in 7th. Suarez and Allmendinger, I'll put them in the back. Give them a row to themselves because they are both wrecked. So let's spawn that. Alrighty. That didn't take too long to do, so I think this is how we will do things. Here we go. The green flag. Hold up, let me fix the ticker. Sure, we'll just say that the second lap was a caution lap. Let's go. Hopefully the restart runs a bit smoother. And if they wreck immediately again, I'm just going to change the draft settings. But looks like everybody's going so far. We'll see in turn 1. Connor Zilich and Ross Chastain, the 2 Trackhouse teammates. They're on the inside, getting a big run. The 47 up in front of the 6. Here comes Chastain to the outside, but Stenhouse is going to have the run on the outside. They're 3 wide for a minute there. Zilich has the inside. He should get the run entering turn 3. Big run for Chastain up the middle. Back to 3 wide racing. And everybody is, I think, yeah, there's only 8 people. Or that's 9. Never mind. I thought somebody wrecked. Stenhouse will be the leader. It's actually Zillage at the last second takes it from him. And we have completed our first lap of Green Flag Racing here in the Magnum Cup Series Season 1. William Byron is going to have the inside, Zillage middle. Big push from the 6 to the back of the 47. That's going to get the 47. Oh, they almost made contact there. They're 3 wide. Again, this is the type of racing I was wanting when I turned the draft up. And Byron, this is even here. This is even Steven up front. Oh, Chastain stuffs a 6 in the wall. That's going to cause 4 wide as they cross the line. Chastain, the 34, the 34 and the 24 got latched onto each other. They're almost 5 wide in the back entering turn 1. This can't end well. And somehow they're going to get away with it here. This is incredible racing we are seeing early on. Now Todd Gilliland's going to be on the inside. Stenhouse still middle. And Byron, my bad on the coughing there. But Todd Gilliland, nope, William Byron is going to lead at the line. I don't know how they got away with that 5 wide and in the corner at Daytona. That does not work. I don't know how they got away with it. Oh, Chastain pushing Zane Smith in the wall. He is really getting aggressive for someone who's battling for last place. Zane Smith up the gut. 4 wide. Big push from Chastain to the back of AJ Allmendinger. Suarez now on the inside. He'll take the lead in turn 3. Now as they come off of turn 4, big block by Suarez on Stenhouse. Didn't quite complete it. Can Allmendinger make a 4 wide? He will. Todd Gilliland continues to lead. They're going to latch bumpers. Around goes. Wow, what a save by Ricky Stenhouse. And they are 4 wide. The entire field is 4 wide. This is incredible. Gilliland outside. He'll take the lead. How they haven't wrecked yet, I have no idea. They're racing like it's the last lap. Here comes William Byron on the outside. Allmendinger on the inside of Brad Keselowski. He's going to have a big run there from Ross Chastain, trying to get him out to the lead. Byron still on the outside. Gillen in the middle. They're going below the yellow line. And side by side, they actually tied for the lead at the line. Allmendinger. Oh, Allmendinger's around. And, I mean, he's still getting pushed, going backwards. We're going to say that's a caution because we went, okay, it's definitely a caution now. There's like a bunch of them, I reckon. I'm gonna call that a yellow because we had such a long green flag run that sure, like it's not a complete wreck fest, so I will call that a caution. Zillage the leader at the line. All right, that was fire. That was fire, and everybody did cross the line again. Okay, so let me put Connor Zillage in first. Daniel Suarez, yeah, he was on the last row when the restart began, so he will be second. It'll be Brad Keselowski and Zane Smith. Keselowski, yeah, it was actually both the cars that were on the back row had found their way to the front by the end, or by the time the caution came out. So we have Keselowski, Smith. So Smith needs to go up a row. We'll put Gilliland in fifth. Is Ross? I think Ross wrecked. Stenhouse in sixth. Ross is seventh. So we'll put Ross in seventh. And then it is Byron in 8th and Allmendinger in 9th. So let's roll with this. And I don't believe I need to fix the ticker because everybody is on the leaderboard. So we'll roll with 8. All right, we're gonna try this one more time. This might be the last restart in the first heat of the Magnum Cup Series tournament. Heat 1 is back underway from Daytona. Good start for Connor Zilisch. He's going to hit the wall. Are they wrecking? Whoa, Zilisch way under the line. And he's going to just completely clean out the 6 car. And that's going to be a yellow, I think, unless the 6 can... Yeah, the 6, I think the 6 is probably going to end up in the track. He's still wrecking. And Brad is not in the track technically. Zane Smith is missing his back end. I'm gonna run it one more lap. I don't think this is gonna stay green though. Where is Zane going? Yeah, I didn't really get a good angle of that. That's my bad. Although we can't. Oh, wow, that was impressive driving there by Todd Gilliland, and he's wrecking. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it when they cross the line. When they cross the line again, I'll throw it. Whoa, yeah. Brad is like almost on the track. We will be calling a caution here. But let's see who will be the leader on the next restart. I think Stenhouse just hit a tire. Whoa, Zilisch, they're going to be 4 wide. And Connor Zilisch will be the leader. Something he has never before seen in real life in Cup this season. And let's reset that. So it was Zilisch in the lead to begin with. Chastain second. Third was Suarez. Fourth was William Byron, I believe. Yeah, I can see him from behind the screen. Allmendinger was fifth. We had Stenhouse in sixth. He's in sixth. Zane Smith in seventh. And then I know Todd Gilliland was ahead of the sixth, so we'll put Gilliland in eighth. Alrighty. Let's spawn that. Ticker. Yeah, the 6 needs to be put back on the ticker. So we'll reset it with 10 laps. So we have about 5 laps left in the first heat of the Magnum Cup Series. Let's get on with it. 24 with a big launch. Watching for restart shenanigans in the back. And everybody looks to be off the line all right. Zilisch to the lead. Here comes Allmendinger. Zilisch just moved over for him. Gave Allmendinger that preferred inside line. Maybe he's trying to slide him in front of Ross Chastain, but too late for that. Ross Chastain's going to get the run on the outside. They're 3 wide in less than a lap. The 24 is, I think he was latched on to the back of the 1 for a second. I think they locked bumpers for a moment there. That could have been big. Big block by AJ Allmendinger. And he's just swerving all over the place. Oh, and there they go. Zilisch and Gilliland and Suarez. That is 3 cars. We're going to let them race back to the line unless there's a car in the track. Suarez must be frustrated with Connor Zilisch. He just drove into him. But since there's nobody that is in the track, we will let them race back to the line. Nobody in the track before they will cross the line again. So Keselowski with Chastain on his outside, Zane Smith on the outside, and Chastain. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Brad leading the field at the line. Yeah, I just love that. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but I freaking love the scheme. I love this scheme. I think that scheme's badass. I think it was his All Star race car. Yeah, it's fire. So I put that in the game over his base scheme, and I actually feel the same way about Zilich's Roto Rooter scheme. But that's also mostly because SVG is going to be running Red Bull, and let's just say Zilich makes it. I don't really want two nearly identical cars in the field, so I did a little bit of switching up, and I gave everybody the sponsor to make sure that there would be no same sponsor cars in the main event if it came down to it. But Brad Keselowski ends up first out of all that. Out of all that mess, he ends up with the lead. Stenhouse is third. We have, I think, by Allmendinger's fourth. Allmendinger in fourth. Zane Smith is fifth. Sixth goes to William Byron, and seventh goes to Todd Gilliland. So we'll put Gilliland in seventh, and then I don't know what order Suarez and Zilich were in, but they can be eighth and ninth, whatever. All right. Let's switch to the proper camera view. All right. So going to the ticker, we'll put it at 12. So this is not technically overtime yet. But if it gets down to a point where the cautions are too ridiculous, then I will write an executive order and declare no more overtimes after a certain point. But thus far, if we have another wreck, I'll throw a caution. We will go into overtime. So Brad Keselowski, Ross Chastain, remember the top three from this race are going to qualify. Everybody else is going home. So here we go. And it does seem like the second lane gets a much better run than the leaders. And I hit the wrong button. Stenhouse, I didn't miss that. Oh, a huge pileup. Everybody's wrecking. Huge crash. That was the biggest wreck we've seen yet. They really do seem to be struggling on restarts. Okay, this is going to be the first overtime. Looks like Brad Keselowski. Yeah, there's only 3 cars that are going to be through that. Only 3 cars. I will wait because there's going to be cars that are. Is there a car on the track? No, there's not. There shouldn't be. Nope, there won't. So Brad K leads, and I am going to wait until the literal last second to Oh, there's the car on the track, William Byron. I'm going to wait for everybody to cross the line. I want as many people across the line as possible. There's Gilliland. Zilich is flipped. Okay, I don't think any of these guys are going to be getting back going. So Brad K is still the leader. Todd Gilliland with a big gain from that. I have no idea what even happened there. Just seems like a restart chaos. More or less. Suarez third, Allmendinger retains fourth, Zane Smith retains fifth, Stenhouse is sixth, and then Byron, Chastain, Zilich, they weren't on the leaderboard, so they can just be back there. They're in the back. They wrecked. All right. Here we go, boys. This is our first overtime attempt, I guess, technically, even though we haven't gone past the scheduled distance yet. I'm calling this overtime. Here we go. Keselowski and Todd Gilliland are going to lead us to green. Let's get it rolling once again, overtime, here in Daytona for Heat 1 of the Magnum Cup Series. Everybody decently spread apart here to start. And they wrecked immediately. I'm gonna keep it green for right now. And Suarez on the inside of Brad Keselowski, and they're wrecking again nearly. Chastain almost wrecks. We got Zane Smith going backwards with Stenhouse pushing him. Looks like everyone for the most part still going, so this is going to be the white flag. Right here. Suarez, swerving around. Here we go. One more lap in the first heat of the Magnum Cup Series. Suarez out front. Imagine if Zane Smith gets a spot in the top three backwards. Allmendinger's out of the way. This will not be interfered by a lap car in the way. They're three wide. Chastain on the inside. Zane is out of it. Here we go. Three wide down the final straightaway. Big pushes from the inside lane. That's going to help a ton. William Byron could put himself in spot for a transfer. Ross Chastain moves up out of the bottom lane for some reason. This could be the top three. Can anybody get a run? William Byron. Ross Chastain with one final run. Chastain. Oh no. I forgot to fix the ticker. Before that last restart. My bad. Although I did start recording the race, so I will know who the top three was. Taking a look at the replay here. I'll just go into orbit cam. Let's skip all the way to the finish. What a finish it was, by the way. What a finish it was. But it is three wide. We'll go to Stenhouse's camera. But from what it looked like, it was Chastain, Suarez, and William Byron. Let's take a look, slowing it down to the slowest speed we can. That is William Byron by a nose, taking third and taking the last transfer spot into the main event. So it'll be Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, and William Byron as your finalists from Heat 1. But thank you guys for watching. I thought that went really good, all things considered. But I will be back for Heat 2. So if you would like to see that, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one.